Hey everyone, welcome back to your favorite pirate crew. Today we're going to be talking about Akainu's reaction after finding out that Luffy surpassed him with Gear 5th. If you'd like to see more about One Piece in our channel, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to join a pirate crew. But pirates, before we continue with the video, I ask that you already subscribe to the channel. That way you can join a pirate crew, earn a devil fruit, or master your favorite hockey. It would also help our crew out a lot if you did leave your thumbs up on today's video, so that we together could become yonkos. Now, let's continue with today's video. Luffy's become one of the most powerful characters in One Piece. We know that, at least, he might be able to stand up to some other powerful characters like Lucci. But would he be able to stand up to an admiral? What would Akainu's reaction be after seeing Gear 5 and realizing that he's now more powerful than he is? Let's talk about both characters, their power levels, and Sakazuki's reaction in today's video. Sakazuki, formerly known by his nickname Admiral Akainu, is the current admiral of the Marine Fleet, succeeding the previous fleet admiral, Sengoku. During the first half of the series, he was one of 3 admirals, being the last to debut. Upon becoming the fleet admiral, one of Sakazuki's first decisions was to move the Navy headquarters to the New World in preparation for the new age of pirates. As fleet admiral, Sakazuki has full operational command of the Marines, with, at the moment, only 6 direct superiors to answer to, the 5 world government elders and the commander-in-chief, in addition to any previous authorities as admiral, for example, issuing special orders such as enacting a buster call on any island he deems a threat at any time, and granting others such privilege. Sakazuki can now fully define the organization's strategy, decide tactics, and set policy, assign and reassign forces to deploy globally on missions, including admirals, promote or demote lower echelons, and delegate whatever powers he sees fit. During the 2-year time skip, he exercised his authority to move the Navy headquarters to the New World, as well as institute recruitment on a global scale. In terms of combat, Sakazuki, as the current fleet admiral, is among the strongest figures in the world, having been hailed with his fellow admirals as the world government's greatest military force, i.e. the strongest individual combatants it can offer, feared by criminals the world over. Sakazuki's history, specifically as a black-hearted extremist, gives him a particularly fearsome reputation even by Admiral standards, as seen especially after the Summit War when Blackbeard, upon learning of Sakazuki's presence aboard a Navy ship destined for negotiation, immediately fled the island. Continued with his crew, noting their unpreparedness to face the Admiral, despite the fact that Blackbeard, at that point, had come to wield 2 of the strongest Akuma no Mi powers in existence, and reinforced his crew with 5 of Impel Down's most dangerous and powerful X's. During the Summit War, Sakazuki's fighting prowess was well established against Whitebeard, an emperor and the strongest man in the world, whom the admiral compared in a direct confrontation, while Whitebeard managed to gain the upper hand against Sakazuki and landed a serious blow in their second confrontation. The admiral did the same, and melted half of Whitebeard's face in return. After falling into the abyss caused by the earthquakes of the enraged emperor, Sakazuki would soon recover and re-enter the battle. Also during the war, Sakazuki proved to be firmly superior to Ace, one of Whitebeard's strongest division commanders despite his young age, dominating Ace effortlessly in a confrontation. Beforehand, Ace had more or less solidly defended himself against Aokiji, although, to be fair, Sakazuki enjoyed the inherent superiority of his own skill over Ace's, unlike the other admiral. Soon after Whitebeard's violent attack on him, Sakazuki re-emerged in what still seemed a perfect combat condition, managing to take him down in a short time with extreme ease. A Revolutionary Army commander and vice commander simultaneously, then another of Whitebeard's commanders. Ultimately, Sakazuki proved so unstoppable that not even the likes of Jinbei, a former sea warlord, both Marco and Vista at the same time, 2 of Whitebeard's strongest men, and later, despite Sakazuki's injuries, a collective of most of Whitebeard's commanders, minus Ace and Jozu, alongside some of Whitebeard's subordinates, captains, and Crocodile, yet another ex-warlord, do nothing more than slow the admiral down, only buying time in Luffy's escape from him. It took another Emperor Shanks to show up and personally stop Sakazuki to make him give up on his pursuit. Ultimately, Sakazuki left the war with no injuries other than those caused by Whitebeard. Sakazuki would later find his equal in the fellow Admiral Kuzan. Their one-on-one duel in Punk Hazard, seeing them tied and meeting another blow after blow for the better part of a 10-day duration. While both men suffered serious injuries, Sakazuki was the one to prevail and emerge as the victor, with his longtime companion supposedly left at his mercy. Despite all this, Luffy only became a real threat to the world government after his small expedition into Big Mom's territory. There, Luffy completely ruined the tea party, destroyed his wedding cake, split a significant portion of the army, and defeated 2 of the 3 sweet commanders, as well as stealing her poneglyph. After this, he was declared the 5th Emperor of the Sea. However, Luffy was never truly recognized by his peers, and as such, defeated Kaido and finally ascending to the position of Yonko is quite significant. This time, Luffy's recognized worldwide as one of the Yonkos. The question still remains, however, how strong is Yonko Luffy? Needless to say, Yonko Luffy is currently among the strongest people in the world of One Piece. His growth's been incredible, and he's progressed at an extremely fast pace, going from a mere rookie to a veteran pirate after the events of Paramount War, to someone who could take down a Yonko commander and even a Yonko. As such, Luffy's developed his strength tremendously, and much of that is due to his tremendous haki. Under Rayleigh's guidance, Luffy was able to learn the basics of this power, but it was only through the various challenges he's faced on the high seas that he advanced to the level that he's at now. Luffy can use all 3 types of haki in their advanced forms. His observation haki is quite refined, to the point where he can see the future quite easily, while his weapon haki is at a level where he can damage things internally without making physical contact with them. Without a doubt, Luffy's Conqueror's haki is one of the greatest powers. As explained by Kaido, this power is what Roger used to heal the world. As such, for Luffy to truly become the strongest, it was necessary to advance it. In the fight against Kaido, Luffy finally awakened it, and proceeded to further polish the ability as the confrontation continued. In the end, he used it in conjunction with his Akuma no Mi powers, and took down a man well worth 4.6 billion berries with the title of World's Strongest Creature. While haki is certainly one of Luffy's main assets, his Akuma no Mi is another. Although on the surface, the Gomu Gomu no Mi looks like an average type of fruit, Luffy has trained its powers to the fullest. As revealed in the Wano Country arc, the fruit's actually a legendary mythical Zoan, formerly wielded by the sun god Nika, and its true name is Hito Hito no Mi, Model Nika. This is not to say that Luffy was given tremendous power from the start. This fruit needs a lot of creativity to be useful. As mentioned by Gorosei, this devil fruit is limited by the user's creativity, and its true power can only be harnessed when the user awakens it. Luffy was able to awaken his Akuma no Mi in the fight against Kaido, and thus was able to use Gear 5th, a form known to be his peak. Using his powers, he was able to fight with even more freedom, and bring smiles and joy to everyone, living up to his title of Liberation Warrior. With Gear 5th, he gained a new transformation, which is typical of the mythical Zoan awakening, but he's also gained the ability to affect his surroundings and even other people with his rubber properties. As such, even someone as strong as Kaido could not handle the heat of Gear 5th, especially when combined with high-level armament and Conqueror's haki. All this goes to show that Luffy really is one of the strongest Yonko currently. The individual strength of a Yonko is not its only asset. In fact, a Yonko's crew is its allies, and its territories all come into play. It's very easy to see that Luffy is not lacking in any of these areas. Straw Hat Pirates are one of the strongest bands on the sea today. Luffy has Zoro and Sanji as his wings, both strong enough to take down Yonko commanders, as seen in the Wano Country arc. The team also has strong characters like Jinbei and, potentially, Yamato, Kaido's offspring. Furthermore, Luffy also has a dedicated pirate fleet called the Great Straw Hat Fleet that was formed at the end of Dressrosa arc. Although the fleet has not yet gone into action, it's a sign that Luffy is a tremendously powerful pirate. When it comes to territories, Luffy is certainly not doing the best, but, however, there is a lot of potential in that area as well. He already has Triton Island under his flag now. Wano Country will probably soon follow that route. Many other countries will probably align themselves with Luffy soon. For one thing, Alabaster's land has not yet been targeted by the world government, and as such, they would not hesitate to break their alliance with them and side with the Straw Hat Pirates. For one thing, Alabaster land has been targeted by the world government. At the same time, the kingdom of Dressrosa and many others that Luffy has helped and freed over the years would also likely side with him very soon, now that he's a Yonko. Other nations that are being targeted, such as Amazon Lily, and even the many nations of commanders of the Great Straw Hat Fleet, such as the Kingdom of Kano. Gathering people together was once described by Mihawk as the most fearsome skill of the seas, and it seems that Luffy has wielded that power to the best of his ability. All things considered, Luffy's indeed worthy of being a Yonko now, and will likely gain even more power and notoriety as he faces other Yonko, such as Shanks and Blackbeard. Against Admiral, something we'll soon see happen. Surely Luffy will be able to surprise them by showing his changing power over time. Thanks to his awakening and the presence of his haki, we'll be able to imagine a rather dangerous fight between these groups. At the same time, it's quite possible that the Admirals have also enhanced their powers, and we'll be seeing the characters facing each other at their peak. Quite possible that upon awakening Gear 5, Akainu will be quite surprised and even startled by the capacity of this power. In contrast, it's still kinda hard to say that he'd be afraid of Luffy. But surely, seeing the two about to face each other, even if Akainu recoils at Luffy's power, he'll realize that perhaps attacking without a second thought, as in the past, is reckless. At the very least, we might see a clash of hakis and Akuma no Mi that'll make heaven and earth tremble. But what about you? Do you think Akainu will fear Luffy's power? Is our Yonko ready to avenge Ace? Leave your opinion about it in the comments. We'd love to hear it. Well, that's it, my Straw Hat Pirate. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any suggestions for a future video, then don't forget to comment below, as I'll be reading them all as I always do. Also, don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any content from your pirate crew.